What's his name? Isaiah Lee.
Yes. How do you not know his name? That is it's famous. He's famous.
I
And
don't
I
know
don't
where to,
know if one of us said this, but I feel like one of us said this too, as far as his reasons, his reasonings.
I don't know where to start. Like, I mean, he
Why did
keep
he do this?
he keeps switching up.
Yeah.
Like he keeps switching up his
We got to
reason.
update. He's come up with a new reason, ladies and gentlemen, a new reason as to why he did this to add on to what he said before about what he did the time before that. Hello. Give it
Oh,
to him.
oh, well, I mean, apparently, some of the jokes that he was making triggered him, as he is bisexual. So the trans jokes that triggered him. He was once homeless in his lifetime. So that triggered him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and of course, the entire world was affected by when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, right? So, again, you know, um, I said this once on my timeline, and I'll just say it here. You can't blame a guy for trying. He's just trying. He's trying anything. You know what I mean? He's just trying.
Shooting his shot legally.
He's just shooting his shot. And
Shooting his legal shot.
yeah, what's gonna come of this is nothing. The only thing that's happening is his name just keeps getting brought up in the paper, right? So he's already got it, in my opinion, some infamy, but he's never really gonna be remembered for any of the reasons that he might want to be remembered for. Some people don't mind going out, you know what I mean? As long as they're remembered. Listen, how about this? There was a guy that I don't even know his name. He practiced Buddhism, and I don't mean the monk that happened way back in the day, the black and white picture. I mean some dude in 2022, some white dude practiced Buddhism, set himself on fire in protest of something.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how I said some guy protested something. This is because nobody even cares.
Right. Never
Right.
even heard
So
about
yeah,
that.
he tried and hoping to be remembered. No, nobody cares. Right. It's the same thing with this guy. He's just shooting his shot. He's missing every time. It's like the net's over here. He's shooting like this, but the ball somehow ends up behind his back.
Right.
Like he's just not good at what he's doing. And what about his lawyer? How is his lawyer allowing
Thank
this to
you.
even like
That
come
was my
out?
first of all. That was my first of all. As soon as I came in, I was gonna be like, first of all, fire your lawyers. Fire them. Get rid of one, two, however many you have. Get them out of here. Because anybody that allowed you to go out and make these statements and actually tell in public through your own mouth why you did this and the reasons are not defendable at all. I almost feel like you should have watched our previous video about this and listen, you laughed at my defense. This guy laughed at my defense. Okay, he did when I said it. But listening back to my defense and what I said, would that have been better than what he's doing right now?
Of course, this is his lawyer, Lionel Hutz from The Simpsons.
Effort you put into, just, I
This is his
just,
lawyer. It's
just,
Lionel
just,
Hutz.
just, just, okay. The effort that this guy puts into finding these images.
I think it's important. Okay, look, I want to know if there's any sympathy for this guy out there, right? I want to know if there's any sympathy for this guy. Because let's just say that when he initially came out, his reasoning for attacking Chappelle was the trans jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was obviously an uproar, right? When that special came out, a lot of backlash. And let's just say he was legitimately bi. We don't know that, right? But let's just say he was legitimately bi. He was bi all through and through, right? Even now, bi.
Right. Right.
And these jokes triggered him, and he did what he did. He got his ass kicked, but he did what he did, and it was because of the jokes.
That's like being
I think
homophobic and going to a gay strip club.
no, but I think that what no, because he would have went to the show with the intent on attacking Chappelle because
Yeah.
of the jokes. But what I'm saying is, I think that I don't want to say what I think. I'm asking if that was the intent. Do you think that the LGBTQ, especially the trans community, would actually be in more support of this guy?
If that's what you think, what do you think?
No,
Do
no,
you
no.
think
This is
they
what I'm
would be
saying.
more
This is what
supportive or
this
less
is.
supportive? Why
This
are
is
you
what I.
asking me? You want
This
me to tell you?
when I'm asking whoever's
No,
watching.
you don't even have to. No, I don't have to be transgender to know this. They're not supporting this. Who's
Why not?
supporting this?
He
Who's
stood
supporting
up.
this?
He
Who's
stood
supporting
up.
this?
He stood
He
up for
made a
that community.
decision to go to the show. right? Whether or not he had intentions to attack before or after he heard the jokes, whatever. That's up to whoever you want to believe. The point is that he went to the show knowing the type of jokes that Dave Chappelle took. The transgender community has already made a stance against Dave Chappelle. They've already done it. They've tried to get him kicked off of Netflix, tried to get him canceled. It didn't work. Okay.
Right.
This guy going up there and running up on stage and tackling, you have to tell me how that is helping. His rationalization was that by attacking Dave in this way, it's gonna make him more pensive about telling these type of jokes in the future. Clearly, he's never watched a Dave Chappelle comedy special or knows who Dave Chappelle is at all. Because if he knew anything about Dave Chappelle, he knows that in his very next show, he's going to be talking about you, Mr. Isaiah Lee, and your reasonings that you're giving out and how foolish they are. He will find a way to make that comical and entertaining.
Well,
I can't wait to see
okay,
it.
well, that's great. All I'm saying is
No, transgender people don't care. They don't care.
Well, let me tell you something. If I'm a part of a community who is being, smeared every time in their eyes, I'm not agreeing with what they're saying, but who's being smeared by this particular comedian, and they tried to get him canceled. They did everything they could do to no avail.
Right.
Bulletproof, just, not even a scratch.
Right.
And then here comes this freaking, nut job who identifies as a part of our community. We're not claiming him, but he's saying he reps us, and he's seen that we were trying and failed. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to take matters into my own hand. And he goes and tackles them. You don't mean to tell me there's going to be some people in that community like, thank you. Finally, somebody does something. We tried to do it this way. It didn't work. Finally.
It could have worked if it was the right person. Unfortunately, this is not the right person. If he was an advocate for this before, and there was pages and he had history of showing up to organize things and protest and all of that stuff, maybe he would have ground to stand on with this as his defense. Maybe the transgender community would come out of it. But let me ask you a question. It doesn't matter what community you're from. It could be whatever community you want to call it. I don't care what it is. Could be the ant community, could be the bee community. This is what, if you're part of a community, is this how you would want your community to be viewed, as this is how we deal with issues that we have? For most communities, I would say no. How do you feel?
Well, of course not.
Right. So that's why I say, if I'm part of the transgender community, I look at Isaiah Lee, I say, this is an idiot who did something stupid and is now trying to use our community as a defense, as opposed to defending what we stand for. So that's why I know if there is somebody who's transgender who said, yeah, kick him out of the club, kick him out of the tree house, don't give him the password, don't let them back in, pull up the rope.
Well, all I can say is that makes sense, but there are definitely groups, super, super far left, super, super far right, that have done what this gentleman has done, and far worse, to get their point across. January 6th. That's all I got.
Yeah, but they're not part of, okay, I get it. There are extremists in every situation, is what you're saying, but they're not part of the transgender community. So
I know, but what I'm saying is but we don't know that. We don't know that there isn't some like trans person out there that's gearing up, getting ready for when Dave comes to the next to their city again. Hopefully not. But we don't know that, right? Or even just make it general. Just make it super general. That's like premeditated.
Right.
Dave is walking down the street, of course, bodyguarded out, and he's just doing his thing. He just did a great show, and transgendered person walks by. That's Dave Chappelle. Maybe they happen to be at a patio. Dave walks by, pick up my food, my sandwich, whatever it is, throw it as anything. There's an opportunity to get back at this person who has been disparaging my community. They're going to take their shot. I'm not saying all, but there are some people that will take their shot. This guy took a shot.
Yeah, I can't argue that. There are people, but I'm just saying, if you're part of the larger community, you're probably not in favor of this as far as image wise for what you stand for or what you're trying to accomplish.
I would hope not, but they're there. Viewing public, what are your thoughts on this? Have you heard, he is a SoundCloud rapper. Have you heard any of his music? Huh?
Right. I didn't even mention that too. So there you go. There's another reason why they be like, this is an idiot.
Have you heard any of his music? If so, what are your thoughts on his tunage? And does he have a leg to stand? Is this guy just dragging this thing out? I feel like this should be over already.